Let's be honest with ourselves here, why does every single Doctor Who game have some sort of problem with it? I mean, for being one of the biggest British TV shows of all time, you'd hope for at least some decent games. I mean, seriously, these games are very dull and kind of uninteresting. Hey, are you paying attention? This is a serious issue. I mean, just take a look at some of these. Starting in 2010, we have Doctor Who The Adventure Games, a point-and-click adventure game that released several different episodes similar to how Telltale releases their games. However, it's more of a series of mini-adventures than an overarching story. Biggest problem? Most of the game's a cutscene. You'll spend like maybe a few minutes solving some of the most basic problems you can imagine, and then you spend the rest of the game going from point A to point B, and then you watch a cutscene. Then we get to Doctor Who Return to Earth, which has the same problem again, very linear game with simple puzzles. In fact, the next game, Doctor Who The Eternity Clock, also has the same problem. Linear game with story and basic puzzles, because we all know nothing captures the sensation of being the Doctor more than playing a game of Operation. I think when it comes to a Doctor Who game, most people want a game that makes you feel like the Doctor, and none of these games really do that. I mean, with how linear these games are, it almost makes you feel like you're playing as the companion. Sure, you play as the Doctor, but you're not the one making the decisions. You're more so sitting on the sideline listening to what the Doctor is telling you to do. Oh, hold on real quick. Then we get to Doctor Who The Edge of Time, which, to give it some credit, does look pretty good for a VR game. However, it's once again a very linear game, with some people even calling it a walking simulator, with a poorly written story and equally bad gameplay. And then we have, what year is it? Ah yes, the currently in development Doctor Who game, Doctor Who Worlds Apart. A Doctor Who mobile NFT card game that is currently selling Doctor Who NFTs for up to $2,000, and this game isn't even out yet. It's such a shame. None of these games really capture the sensation of being the Doctor. They more so capture the sensation of watching an episode of Doctor Who that you can sometimes interact with. It makes you wish for a game that gave the player a little bit more agency, something with more of an emergent gameplay style, where it's up to the player and how they want to approach a problem. And not simple problems, no, you need problems of tough moral decisions that really make you feel like you have an impact on these people's lives. All of that, while also having the perfect mixture of both comedy and horror to complement the experience. Luckily for us, it already exists. Say hello to Fallout New Vegas was a game created by Obsidian Entertainment and was released in October of 2010. One of its main elements is how open-ended it is. It gives you a single goal and chucks you into the middle of the wasteland to accomplish that in any way you want. And it's inevitable that at some point in your journey, you're gonna get distracted by something. Maybe you'll be walking down the road and see some raiders attacking a base. Or maybe you'll see some escaped convicts who have taken over an entire town. And it's this core Fallout element that accidentally makes it a perfect Doctor Who game, because with the mod, Fallout New Vegas, you gain access to the Tardis, which has the ability to land anywhere in the wasteland completely randomly, meaning you have no idea what's outside those doors. And with the sheer amount of side quests in this game, when you step outside, you can be thrown into any number of adventures. It gives you this genuine sensation of curiosity and wonder about what's going on, and what you can do to help, which perfectly captures one of the main elements of Doctor Who, the mystery of what's going on and the desire to help people. Ah, perfect, looks like we've solved this quadrant. All right, let's move over to the next one. Yeah, with these more linear games, it's just, you get one story that spans the entire game and you're just stuck with it. Whereas with Fallout, say you feel some form of story fatigue on some side quests, just move over to another one. You're not trapped with one story the whole time. Oh, looks like this perfect place to, yeah, all right, this'll work, sorry. Sorry, back to what I was saying earlier about the whole TARDIS traversal stuff. I have a perfect example. I landed the TARDIS in a completely random spot, hopped outside, and suddenly I was in a cave with a man on the floor bleeding in front of me. I quickly walked up to him and asked him what had happened. He told me he was injured and needed a doctor's bag. Apparently, he had just escaped these monsters that were deeper in the cave. Now, I didn't have a doctor's bag on me at the moment, so I took the TARDIS, which also nicely replaces the fast travel system. When I came back and helped the guy out, he then asked me if I could at some point help his friends who were deeper in the cave. I looked further into the cave and saw it was teeming with monsters. And at that moment, I had the thought, there was a real likelihood I wouldn't make it out of that cave if I went any deeper. A feeling that has actually never been captured in any other Doctor Who game. They're linear games, They remove any sense of real danger. You know there's going to be a solution to any problem they throw at you. Like I said earlier, you're stuck with the story given, so there has to be some way of solving it. But in this case, I had to actually think. I had to plan something out if I wanted to save these people. For example, I could try to get some weapons to fight off these monsters, but I didn't exactly put a lot of skills into any form of attack, so it probably really wouldn't work out. Okay, I could try sneaking past the monsters. Well, no, there's nothing to actually hide behind, and the tunnels are way too small. They'll see me instantly. Okay, what about a stealth boy? I mean, they make you completely invisible, right? No, wait a minute, hold on. In the Tardis, there's a perception filter you can craft. Yeah. They make you completely visible, just like the stealth boy, but no time limit. Okay, that could actually work. Problem is, I need to level up my science. No, that's not a bad idea. Hold on. There's other things you can craft, obviously, in the Tardis. I mean, the whole mod is based around that element, right? Okay, so I level up my science. I'll go around the whole wasteland, like leveling up, right? And, sorry. Compare that to other Doctor Who games, where you just...
Congratulations!
Doesn't really have the same impact. It's just lacking a level of, I don't know, actual puzzle solving, where you're the one who has to think about it. You know, problem solve, experimentation. Oh, all right, Squadron's good. All right, let's keep going then. They're just very flat, you know, they just lack a level of depth. Yeah, there, okay, perfect. Yeah, that works. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. There was this one time I landed in Nellis, and I found a kid who was explaining the entire history of their camp. Sure, there's an exposition dump, but the difference here is I wasn't forced into it. It was of my choice to pay attention and listen, and I had more of a drive to actually listen since it wasn't forced onto me. It felt like I was the one who was actively making the decision to participate in the world around me, and not that the world around me needed me to participate. It truly felt like these people would go on with their lives if I do nothing. Whereas in these Doctor Who games, the world often comes to a screeching halt all the time. You will often see NPCs just standing in place, waiting for you to get to them, which just drains any sense of life out of these characters, which also isn't helped by some of the animations, line delivery, and pacing.
Exterminate! No!
Not to point out the obvious too much here, but Fallout New Vegas is simply a very well-made game. With a great story, believable characters, and solid gameplay. There's a reason people talk about it so much. Doctor Who games, on the other hand, are simply at a disadvantage here. Not only do you have to make a good Doctor Who game, but you also have to make a good game, which on its own is incredibly difficult. Ah, perfect. Another scan done. I know what you're thinking. Really? Is that it? It just adds a TARDIS and that's gonna make it a Doctor Who game? Well, who said it just adds a TARDIS? It also adds a sonic screwdriver, psychic paper, perception filter, vortex manipulator, the fob watch, different locations, including stuff like Skaro, Gallifrey, Trenzalore, the Moon, as well as some monsters from the show like Weeping Angels, Daleks, Cybermen, the Silence, Autons, Silurians, as well as an outfit for every single Doctor all the way up to 12, and weapons like Dalek laser pistol, sonic rifle, cyber gun, anti-plastic, Nitron 9, Krondon generator, and you can also build K9 to be your little robot companion, who is very useful. It also has its own few missions, which are just like the normal Fallout New Vegas quests, but have a little bit of a Doctor Who twist to them. And of course, the TARDIS, which you can change the exterior of, as well as the interior console room. Oh, and the interior is not just the console room. No, there is an entire inside of the TARDIS that you can explore, which, by the way, is a nightmare to get around. This is what the map looks like. This is useless, but there are a ton of rooms in this place, which, by the way, also make it the perfect base for the player. And that's just a fraction of all the stuff that this mod has to offer. It is a really cool experience that adds a ton of stuff to the game, and it really does make it feel like a Doctor Who game, which of course in turn really makes you feel like you're playing as the Doctor. Ah! Oh hey! Scan's done! Okay. And the position, oh, hold on, wait. And the position is right there. All right. Oh yeah. I was right next to it the whole time. Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Hello? Well, who else would it be? Hey, thank you so much for watching. We've recently hit a pretty big milestone for the channel. We've hit 1,000 subscribers, so I want to thank everyone so much for that. And of course, shout out to the members currently on screen right now. If you also want to see your name here, consider becoming a member today. You also get some other perks like behind the scenes content and some extra little videos. The behind the scenes videos for this should be coming out pretty soon. However, the extra videos should be out already. It's me playing mini golf during a heat advisory. I had a lot of fun, almost died, but that's besides the point. Thank you so much though, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.